So good morning children, good morning all of you. So this is the first video in which we are going to study about the lost spring, okay? Which is written by whom? This story is written by Anis Jung. And this story we are studying for CBSE 12th standard, and this is from the book Flamingo, okay? So before studying any story children, we always what we used to do, that we used to collect some information about the writer. So about the Anis Jung we will see that when he was born in the year 1964. Okay, so Anis Jung was born in the year 1964. He was born in Rourkela in India and spent his childhood and adolescence in Hyderabad. So we can say that up to the 19 years of age he was, okay, up to 18-19 of years of age he was in Hyderabad. Okay, and then she received her education in Hyderabad and in the United States of America. So by mistakenly I said he. Okay, Anis Jung is the name of the female writer. Okay, and you know children that she has studied not only in the India but outside the India also she has studied. See, now also if anyone is going and studying in abroad, means America or Europe, that is a big thing. In India, if you go and study in the United States of America, till today it is the big thing. But she went how many years back? We can understand that 40 years back she went to the United States of America and she studied. Okay, and one more thing here which is very interesting children, that her both parents were writer. So father is also writer, mother is also writer, and the child is also writer. So we are going to study the story Lost Spring. See, spring we can understand this is in two ways. Okay, first that we will see the story that how the characters are talking about the lost spring, and second, spring is said about the happiness also, right? The season of happiness. So the lost spring, someone has lost the happiness. So what the story is about, that we all will see. She has been an editor and columnist for major newspaper in India and abroad. So don't think children that the parents are writer, so she also become writer. No, she was deserving to be the writer. How? Because she got the chance to work with so many newspaper in India and abroad, and she was writing column in the newspaper. Maybe you have seen children, one column is written and then short, very short one, the name of the writer is written. Okay, so the column also in the leading newspaper she was writing. The following is an excerpt from her book titled Lost Spring, Stories of Stolen Childhood. So one book is there. The book is written by Anis Jung. Okay, what the book is speaking, Lost Spring, Stories of Stolen Childhood. How someone can steal someone's childhood? Yes, it can be stolen children. It can be stolen. How? Because whenever we discuss or whenever we talk about childhood, what is coming in our mind? In our mind, happiness is coming. In our mind, free thoughts are coming, like playing, okay, like roaming with the friends. That is called childhood. No tension is there. That is called childhood. But if anyone is forced to do work, if anyone is struggling hard, if anyone is not having the hope also, then we can say that the childhood is stolen. See children, you can understand this easily with the help of one example, right? So if a child is born in a good family, then we can expect that at the age of 30 also, he can have childish behavior. Why? Because he is having a good family. And all the family members are treating him like a child. So at the age of 30 years also, he can behave like a child in front of his family members. But imagine, a poor family is there, very poor, even they are not getting the food also to eat. Okay, all the 3 times they are not getting, only 1 time a day they are getting to eat. So in that family, the 10-year-old child, he will talk that much mature, he will talk that much serious that you cannot expect from the child from a good family of 30 years age. Who is making him to speak this much serious, and why he is having the serious behavior, this prematurity, why he is having? Because of the poverty, because of the problem. So it is rightly said about the writers, from the side of the writers, that poverty used to make the peoples more mature before the time. If anyone is poor, no, he will become mature before the time. Mature in the sense of thinking. Means a 10-year poor child can think that much deeply about society, about human beings, about all the issues, how much this 30-year-old man cannot think, who is belonging from a good family. Right? So poverty, so we can say that here now he is not a child. 10-year-old boy, that much problem he has faced, no, that his childhood is lost. Okay, emotions are lost. So now we can see children in the story. So here she analyzes the grinding poverty and tradition which condemn these children to a life of exploitation. So the life is exploited. Exploited means someone is misusing it. That is the meaning of exploitation. Okay, someone is misusing it, and that is the meaning of exploitation. Right? See children, you have seen so many small children, those who are begging. Who taught them to beg? Who taught them to beg? And if they are begging also, the money, what they all are doing. And I can never imagine or think that the parents are sending the children that you go and beg. I can never imagine this. Why? Because this can never be possible. Yes, parents can beg and they can feed the children, this is possible. But the new brains, who is teaching them to feed? You will be surprised to know that in Maharashtra, okay, the police raided one group of people, those who were forcing the children to beg on the street. And like this only, that group was earning money. So where the world is going? That we have to think, okay? So you can understand the story very nicely only if you are having the book in your hand and when you focus on my words while listening, and you see in your book while I am reading for you. Sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage. So this is a story where a boy is there, and what he used to do, he used to collect something from the garbage. Okay, have you listened children the word rat picker? Rat picker. So rat picker are the children or the people, those who used to carry, okay, carry the big bag, we can say the dirty one, and they used to collect from the dust some useful material. Either it can be plastic, It can be something which they can sell also and they can get some money. So 99 out of 100 times you will see the rag pickers are not having the slippers. Okay, they are not having the slippers. Maybe you will also see that their dress is very dirty and they have not taken bath also for so many days. Right? So you can feel children by looking the rag pickers that they seems to be out from the society. This group of peoples are out from the society. Sometimes they are collecting the old bottles, okay, cans, bottles, okay, waste materials which they can sell, and sometimes the peoples are making them to run also. They are treating very forcefully with them. Some peoples they used to call them by bad names, okay, abusive words also some peoples used to use, right? So where the lesson is there which we are studying, kindness, forgiveness, patience. So these things should be in the practical life also, okay. So why the children or anyone is doing that thing? Because they have learned that thing only. Maybe they never went to school. Maybe their brain has not developed and become sensitive to this much issue. Someone is scolding that run away from here, don't collect the waste material. Then also they are collecting and sometimes running also. Maybe they have not taught. They are having the lack of education. But finally who they are? They are the God's best creature. They are like us. They are human beings. So we should have the sense of brotherhood, children, with everyone. Okay, any human being is there, irrespective of religion, caste, color, races. We should have the sense of brotherhood, irrespective of the profession. He can be a rag picker, he can be a beggar, but we should have the sense of brotherhood, that he is also human and I am also human being. Then we can see some difference, right? So here we are going to see the story of a rag picker, and I remember this story. This is one of the best story till now which I have read. Why do you do this? Question mark. I asked Sahib, whom I encounter every morning scrounging for gold in the garbage dumps of my neighborhood. So one narrator is there, he is explaining that in my neighborhood garbage is there and every day one boy is coming there whose name is Sahib. Okay, so whose name is Sahib, and what he used to do, he used to search in the garbage that some gold material is there or not. Because in garbage someone is searching the costly thing only, so every day he is searching, but he is not able to get. Right? He is searching but he is not able to get. And then so I encounter every morning scrounging for gold. Every morning he was searching. Sahib left his home long ago. So what Sahib has done? He has left his home long ago, set amidst the green field of Dhaka. So where the story is set? The story is of Bangladesh, we can understand. Dhaka is there only. So the green field of Dhaka he is sitting. His home is not even a distant memory. And we cannot say that his home is the distant memory. What is the meaning of distant memory? The memory which I am not able to remember, that is called distant memory. There were many storms that swept away their fields and homes. So how he lost his family, or we can say home? He lost his home. Why? Because there were so many storms in the field also, in the house also. So what can happen, children? See, natural disaster can come anywhere and anyone can face any problem in the life. So this is also one of the reason why we should be kind towards others. His mother tells him. So this information he is getting from the mother, and mother is telling to him what the mother is telling, that yes, we were having the house also, but because of the storm what happened, that we have to leave that place and we have to migrate. That's why they left, looking for gold in the big city where he now lives, and they are looking for gold. So this line is humor, which is explaining that they are looking for the gold in the city. Meaning is they are looking for betterment, but actually the boy is searching the gold in the garbage. He is a rag picker. He is a rag picker, the person who is collecting wastage, some useful thing from the wastage and selling it. They are said to be rag pickers. Generally they used to be small children, or we can say group of small children. Children, you all can go in your memory and you can remember that have you seen the group of 3 or 4, 5 children, those who were around your house and they were searching something from the garbage? They are rag pickers. Okay, they are rag pickers. So sometimes you may be thinking, you know, how careless these children are, not going to school also, having a very good life. Every day they are playing in the field, in the garbage, in the dirt, all time with the friends. They are very nice life they are having. We the peoples are going to school, facing the examination, then coaching classes and tuitions, and then also having the fear that in 12th standard board examination, if less marks will come, what will happen? Do you know, children, what they are feeling? Okay. So I will tell you this thing, then we can connect more, right, by understanding this. So one example here I am giving you. So how I know this example? I know this example because I have read some of the books which was written on the rag picker. Okay. So don't think that I know because of some other means, right? Example, this is one house, a big house having 4-story or 3-story, and here one school going child is there. He can be a boy, she can be a girl, anyone. And this school going child is looking downside. 4-5 children are there, whole day they are playing, running, okay, not having the slippers, not having the good dresses, and garbage is there. So that child is thinking that my father is very strict towards me, my teachers are very strict towards me, every day I have to go to school and study, in the lockdown also I have to take my online classes, right? He is thinking. So everything he is thinking, all the tuition, coaching, how much hard work he is doing. Now he started thinking that this child is having, these group of people are having a free and good life. They are not going to school, no fear of teacher or school or prestige. Good life they are having. You go and ask from them, they will say, this child is a lucky child because he is going to school, because he is having a big house and a good father, right? So you ask from them, they used to discuss this thing only, and he used to think like that manner. Then after 10 years, 20 years, what will happen? They all will be there only where they were 10 years back. And this child, he will study, he will become knowledgeable person, and then this child will become someone at good post, so that he can serve the society. And that time when he will return, no, this all will see him with hope that you are now a big man, you can do something for us. And that time this man can take some steps for the betterment of these peoples, because now he has understood that without education the life is no more, no better like the life of a rag picker. Okay. So if you all are studying and if you all are coming to some good post, children, only one thing I want from you all, that you are having the sympathy, kindness towards those who are below than you. Okay, so if you are kind to the weak, you will become more strong. Coming to the story back, so the mother was telling that because of the storm they had changed the place. That's why they left, looking for gold in the big cities where he now lives. I have nothing else to do, he mutters, looking away. So what he used to say, Sahib, I have nothing else to do, means what can I do? Nothing work I am having. Go to school, I say glibly. So this boy is saying same thing. What he is saying? Go to school. Going to school is the first duty of any child. So like that only the narrator started talking. Realizing immediately how hollow the advice must sound. Hollow means empty. Go to the school. Why? Who will pay the fee? Who is going to pay the fee? Who will buy the new dresses? Who will buy the books? Who will pay the tuition fee? Right? So there is no school in my neighborhood, and the boy is also speaking all the answers correctly. So now the narrator and this rag picker, they both are having some conversation. So saying there is no school in my neighborhood. When they build one, I will go. And Sahib is a rag picker, but he is giving the interesting answer. He is saying that I am not having a school only in my neighborhood, so I cannot go to school. When they will build one school, that time I will go. And then page number 14, children. If I start a school, will you come? Question mark. Now the writer is asking a question. If I am only starting the school, opening a school for you, can you come? Means, are you interested to study? I ask half joking, but the writer is asking in which mood? The writer is asking in the half joking mood. Yes, he says, smiling broadly, but the child answered very confidently with a smiling face, says yes. A few days later, I see him running up to me, and after a few days, he started running to him to speak something, and he said, is your school ready? Question mark. And he started asking the question that, is your school ready? See, sometimes if you speak to some children, no, they will take that thing very seriously. Like to small children, you speak something that in the evening I will take you to some good places where you can see so many flowers. So in the evening they will start crying that I want to go to good places, I want to go to good places where flowers are there, and they will start repeating. Okay, they will not understand that you have said in a fun way. Like that only this is happening with Sahib. Sahib is a boy. It takes longer to build a school, I say, embarrassed at having made a promises that was not meant. Then he is giving reply, it is taking time to build a school. It is not the process of one day, or the small child cannot make it. But then also he was embarrassed. Embarrassed means the one who feel bad that I made a promise which I cannot keep only. But promises like mine abound in every corner of his bleak world. Then he is saying that promises if I am breaking also, like me, many people are there in this world who are making promises with this child and breaking. So in his world, it is not a new thing. It is happening. After months of knowing him, I asked him his name. So after months of knowing him, after months he is having encounter with him, he is looking him, he is knowing him, he started asking his name. What is your name? Right? He said, my name is Sahib A. Alam. So the name he said is Sahib A. Alam. Alam means world and Sahib means king. So king of the world. Okay. So here Alam is written single A only. He announced, he does not know what it means, and what he is saying that I don't know the meaning of the name. If he knew its meaning, Lord of the universe. So what is the meaning of Sahib Alam? Lord of the universe. Okay, Alam, universe, world, Sahib, king or Lord. So Lord of the universe. He would have a hard time believing it. But if you will say the meaning, what is the meaning of your name, he will not believe this only. Why? Because how the life he is spending and what the name he is having is not having any match. Unaware of what his name represents, he roamed the street with his friends. He is not aware about his name, that what my name is having the meaning. Carelessly he is roaming with the friends. Okay. So children, you also can see what the name you are having, what the meaning of the name is having, and you ask from yourself that do you have any characteristic related to your name? Okay. Think. Or is it the need that we must develop some good characteristic? Everyone is having the good name only. So an army of barefoot boys. So how the friend, which type of friend he is having? He is having the friends, those who are having barefoot, means no one is having the slipper. So with that boy who will do the friendship, that types of boys only. I don't think that the school going child will get this much time that he will play with the rag pickers, or he will become interested to play also. The school going child will have the friendship with the school going children only. And the rag pickers, they will also not feel comfortable with the school going children. They will also feel comfortable with the rag pickers. Okay. So if we will go back in the history, children, right, more back, so what we can find out that the human beings were also not bathing for so many days. Why? Because all the human beings, when I say human beings, I mean all the human beings, they were not bathing for so many days. Why? Because all were not living nearby the water bodies. They had to travel and they had to reach. So while traveling, they were not bathing also. Okay, and they were not having the slippers also, and they were having a very hard and struggleful life. Every here and there they were searching something. So can we say that the poor and the rag pickers are our past? Can we say that the cities and the big towns are the future of village, or their past is only village? Right. So for example, any state is there, very developed state, and now making the fun of that state where illiteracy is there. So the state which is having illiteracy is the past of the literate state. If you are able to understand this, you can understand. Okay. So the barefoot boys who appear like the morning birds and disappear at noon. So these morning boys, when they are coming every day in the morning time like the morning birds, and they used to disappear in the afternoon. Over the month I have come to recognize each of them, and writer is telling that in 1 month I had recognized all the children, like they were coming like an army. So I was recognizing everyone. Why are not you wearing chappals? I asked one. So now this boy asked that why are not you wearing chappal? The answer is, my mother did not bring them down from the shelf. He answers simply. So he is saying that my mother is not bringing from the shelf only. Okay, so I am not wearing the chappals, slipper. Even if she did, he will throw them off, adds another, who is wearing shoes that don't match. So one more boy is there who is having two shoes, different shoes of different size, and he is saying that my mother is not giving me slipper only from the shelf to wear. So another child is there who is saying that, and if mother is giving also he is not wearing, he is throwing it off. Okay, so this is interesting. See, this is reality. Okay, so one kind of happiness we can find there. When I comment on it, he shuffles his feet and says nothing. So when a writer is saying that you are having the unmatched shoes, he started shuffling his feet. Shuffling his feet means like changing the feet and nothing. Then he is saying, I want shoes, says a third boy who has never owned a pair all his life. So a third boy is there who is saying that I want shoes. In his whole life, he has not got the shoes in both the pair of legs. Traveling across the country, I have seen children walking barefoot. And traveling across the country, writer is saying that he has seen many children, those who are walking barefoot. In cities, on village road, it is not lack of money, but a tradition to stay barefoot is one explanation. And not because of the lack of money, the people are not wearing the, you can say slipper, or the children are not wearing the slipper, but because of the tradition. They are saying that from childhood only I am not wearing, not having the habit only, so now how I can wear. And this is the explanation. I wonder if this is only an excuse to explain away a perpetual state of poverty. So the writer is saying very deeper thing, deeper meaning is there, that I think this is the main reason, or the main reason is that you are poor, and because of the poverty you are not wearing the slippers. So he is saying that the excuse to poverty can be only that we all can say this is our tradition. Can this become the excuse? I remember a story a man from UDP once told me. So here now switching to another story which the writer is remembering now and started relating with the Sahib's story. He is saying, as a young boy he would go to school past an old temple. So one story of a man is there, and the man is living in UDP. He has only told to writer that when he was a young boy, he was going to school, and on the way he was able to find temple, old temple. So in the old temple his father was a priest. Priest means the religious person who used to guide the peoples, who used to teach the peoples about the religion. Then he would stop briefly at the temple and pray for a pair of shoes. So what was happening? Every day this child, when he was going to school, he was stopping at the temple only, and he was praying for the pair of new shoe. 30 years later I visited his town and the temple. So 30 years later writer visited, which was now drowned in an air of dissolution. So air of dissolution means one storm was there. In the backyard where lived the new priest, there were red and white plastic chair. So backward one new priest was there, and he was having the which type of plastic chair? Red and white plastic chair. A young boy dressed in a grey uniform, wearing socks and shoes, arrived panting and threw his school bag on a folding bed. So that time he saw that one young boy who is a school going child, he is having the shoe also, and he is simply throwing the bag to the bed, folding bed. How the many children, when they are going to the school, how they are throwing the bag sometimes, okay, because they used to feel it was heavy. So looking at the boy, I remembered the prayer another boy had made to the goddess when he had finally got a pair of shoes. Let me never lose them. So what the prayer he is able to remember, that one boy prayed that he should get the pair of shoes, and another boy that I should never lose. The goddess has granted his pair. Young boys like the son of the priest now wore shoes, but many others like the rag pickers in my childhood remain shoeless. So he is saying that I think that the God has listened the prayer of that child. He was praying that I should get the shoes, or the son of a priest should get the shoe. So now that change has come, that at least now the son of priest after the 30 year is having the shoes and going to the school for education. And the same time here it is said, but others are not having, rag pickers are not having, those who are living in the neighborhood of writer. So we can understand that maybe the rag pickers are helpless, okay, we can do something for them, we can help them, okay, and if you want to help anyone, you educate him or her. Education is the best gift can be given to anyone, right? So education is the best gift that can be given to anyone, because this only make your brain sensitive that you can take the decision. My acquaintance with the barefoot rag picker leads me to Simapuri. Acquaintance means when he was living with the barefoot rag pickers, in that thought process only he went to Simapuri, a place on the periphery of Delhi. So periphery of Delhi means at the end of the Delhi, at the height of Delhi, yet miles away from it, metaphorically. So you can say that Delhi is now also at distance, but that was counted in Delhi only. Those who live here are squatters who came from Bangladesh back in 1971, and all those people, those who are living here, they came back from Bangladesh in the year 1971. Okay. So 1971 only Pakistan was partitioned and Bangladesh was formed. That time we were having the Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, who played a very important role in the formation of Bangladesh, my mistake, Bangladesh. And today also children, we are having a good and friendly relation with the Bangladesh. So Saheb family is also among them, who came in the year 1970 from Bangladesh to India. Simapuri was then a wilderness. Wilderness means it was like a forest part. Everywhere trees were there, animals were there, so it was like wilderness. But now what happened? The people started living and they started making the land comfortable for themselves. It still is, but it is no longer embodied in a structure of mud with roots of tin and tarpaulin. So how with the tin they are covering the room, devoid of sewage, and sewage lining they are making, drainage or running water, leave 10,000 rag pickers. And how many people are living there? There 10,000 people are living there. So you may ask one question, that sir, if this much people are coming, why they are not going and doing any another work? So if anywhere where they will go, it will be asked, no, that bring your identity card, bring your some proof of citizenship, bring some certificates. Nothing they were having, because they were migrating from Bangladesh to India, right? So they were having only one work, the work of doing rag picking, and they were not educated also. This is also the reason, because in childhood only they came when the storm was there, right? So children, we will continue in our next period and we will try to understand about the writer also and about the Saheb also. So thank you all, have a good day.